Hi class, this is Ms. Bracamontes, and the tutorial that I prepared for you today are for those students that were absent and those that were here today and just need a little refresher. So today I had you create an account on www.extranormal.com. So open your web browser, type in this URL address, and it'll take you to this home page. On this home page you can sign up. Okay, click on the sign up button here and choose the basic free account. So click where it says basic free and then green button, sign up. Type in a username. I'm just going to put my last name, and I'm going to put 2012 just in case there's other Bracamontes. Type in your email address. Okay, create a password, confirm the password, and do you agree with the terms? Click yes, and let's sign up. Okay, that's Bracamontes 2012 stuff. Now here is where we get creative and actually utilize the script that we created in class on Wednesday. So you want to go to the create tab on top because that's where you're going to be able to type in your script. Okay, so remember you were to create at least a minimum of 6 lines of the script utilizing 2 different characters that captures kind of the theme of the book you read and also the traits of your characters. Here are the different categories that you can choose to create your animated movie scene. It's been my experience that the Peeps, have characters that are a little bit more, that lend themselves more to the characters in the books you read. You really don't want to use an alien or a zombie of some sort. But you can definitely explore, and I'll leave it up to you which type of characters you want to utilize to capture again their traits and the theme of your novel. I'm gonna go with Peeps again. Okay, so for example, you're gonna go here and it'll take you to the production site or the creation site of your story. So you want to choose a set. Let's pretend that you read Burro Genius, which was one of the books on the list. A lot of the action took place in the classroom, so I might see if I can find something that looks like a classroom. Yes, they do. Choose that as your background set. Okay, and if for some reason you can't find a set that you feel captures the setting of your book, you can always choose a blank set. These are the blank ones. Okay, so I clicked on the set. Next, you want to choose what your actors look like. Well, in Burro Genius there was a male teacher, so let's see, and he was an American white male teacher. So let's see if there's anything in there that looks like that. Okay, this guy with the glasses. Okay, and then the other character I chose to kind of include in my script is Victor as a young boy in the classroom. So let's see, Mexican American young boy. Now I know there's not much to choose from, but just try to get one that's the most fitting. Okay, here I go. This character looks a little young, so that's my second character. Next, you want to give them voices. You don't have that many choices. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 male voices. Okay, actually there's also an Australian English voice, so with an accent. An Indian English with an accent. I'm just gonna go with American English. Okay, so for him, let's see if they have. Oh, good, American English boy. Let's give him a boy voice. You can sample the voice.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
That's
Do you like my voice?
So this is the voice of my first character, and then character 2. Okay, click on character 2. I think I accidentally clicked on the same tab. Here again, character 2. That's the teacher. Okay, and I want to give him. Let's just go with American English male 1. You can sample his voice.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Do you like my voice?
So that is his voice, the teacher's voice, and this is Victor's tab with his voice. Okay, so you can go back and forth on the tabs, as you can see. Let's go to sounds. Do you want any background sound that you're, for example, seeing take place outside and you want some pigeons in the background, or in the city, or some crickets if it's out in a rural area? I'm not going to choose any sounds because it's a classroom, so it should be completely quiet. And then another thing to consider too, every time you choose different options and add special effects to your movies, you're using up your points. So when you created your account here, you look up here in this gray bar, it says you have 300 points. It will cost me 111 points to buy the stuff that I'm using already. So the stuff that I selected, for example, this character and the set, classroom set, and then the teacher character, it's costing me 111 points. So I can publish this at 111 points. So just be conscious of your points up here. And then what you want to do next is create your story. And before you create your story, I just want to remind you to always hit save. Okay, this way you're saving your project. See, you can find your movie by clicking on my stuff, then by clicking on the in progress section of my stuff, and you can always come back and work on your movie scene if you have to kind of go somewhere or do some other things. Okay, so always hit save. Do not hit publish. Okay, because if you hit publish, then what will happen is your movie will be finalized and you can't go back and make changes. Okay, and then you'll use up your points. Okay, so don't hit publish until you're completely done with this project. Okay, you can listen to the dialogue that you create. You can preview your movie if you want to see what it looks like before you publish it. You definitely want to do that a couple times as you're preparing it. Okay, so back to the story. So here's where you're gonna insert the script that you created. So this is Victor talking first. Actually, I don't want Victor to talk first. I want the teacher to talk first. So I'll click on the teacher's character and then type in what I want him to say first. Okay, so for example, I'm gonna tell him, Victor, you are receiving an F. Okay, let's keep it simple. And then Victor then replies and says, but why? I fulfilled your criteria. Okay? And so to make sure that it's Victor who says this, make sure you click on Victor. And then remember, I said a minimum of 6 lines. So in order to add a couple more text boxes, you click on the plus sign and you want to select where it says text to speech. Select there. And you created another text box. There's at 6 already. Okay, text to speech, that's my 4th box. Text to speech, 5 boxes. Text to speech, 6 boxes. Okay, and if you want to go a little over, that's okay, but a minimum of 6. Okay, so this is Victor. This is again, oops, let me make sure that I type this correctly. Type here to make me Alright, Victor, you are receiving. Make sure you type correctly because whatever you type, that's what's going to be spoken by your character. Victor, you are receiving an F. And then Victor says, but why? I fulfilled your criteria. And then the teacher says, I don't like your kind. Okay. Again, the book, one of the themes in the book is racism. Another theme of the book is, for example, academic disabilities. Victor was dyslexic, so he had a lot of trouble in school, and he basically had trouble too because the teachers treated him really bad. And so this is what I'm trying to capture in my scene. I'm going to hit save to make sure that my project's being saved. Okay, and then you can make your characters move. Okay, I'm going to put this little movement here, drag and drop. I want the teacher to move when he's speaking. I want him to basically say arms out. I want him to do that. Apply. So basically when he says, Victor, you're receiving an F, his arms are going to move up. And then Victor, let's give him a face and let him react to this. How is he going to react? He was going to react with sadness. What? I'm receiving an F? And you see his little eyebrows change. Apply. So when he responds, his face is going to go, he's going to be sad. And then the teacher responds. I'm going to have him point. And I'm going to have him point, just point at him. Okay, point at him. Saying, I don't like your kind. Okay. And so anyways, you get the idea here. And you hit save. And then after you save it, if you click on this preview button, you can watch your creation back and forth until you're happy with with what you created, and then you hit the publish button at the very end. Once you have all the movements in, all the faces in, you can put as many faces as you want in a particular line. You can even put sounds and images if you want things to pop up as they're speaking. Okay, and then you can also change the camera angle. This is another, let me show you this one. So let's put the camera symbol here, and this is the view that you would get of your film as the teacher speaking, but I want a close-up since the teacher's speaking. Okay, so let's get a close-up of the character on the right, which is a teacher. This is a character on the right side, which is a teacher. Hit apply, so that way when you preview your film, it's loading right now, the camera will be directly on Victor's teacher's face as he's speaking. Okay, and then that way you don't have a scene where the camera is at a far, it's filming from a far angle, from a distance. What else can I tell you? Again, don't hit publish until you are done. Let me close that window. That was a little mistake. I'm looking for this window, and let me pause for a second. So it loads, as you can see. It takes a little bit of a while to load all the dialogue that's taking place and the motions. So let me just pause while we wait for it to continue to load. Okay, here
Victor,
we
you
go.
are receiving an F.
But why? I fulfilled your criteria.
I don't like your kind. Type here to make me say something. Drag and drop icons into the text to make me do stuff.
Okay.
Change who is talking by adding a new text
As you
box
can
using
see-
the plus button.
Type yes. Drag and drop
As you
icons
can
onto
see
the
here,
text to make me do
these
stuff.
characters are just, wow, that was a lot of rambling. But you saw that the first 3 lines that were described were the ones that I typed in. And then it was funny. Then you heard the teacher say, type here to make me say something. Drag and drop icons to the text to make me do stuff. So as you can see, whatever is written in these boxes, they will say. And whatever icons you use for movement, they will move. So basically, that's how to create your animated scene. Again, make sure you always hit save as you're working. Again, the preview button will take about a minute or 2 to load, and you can always just listen. It's a lot faster just to listen what you've it's always faster to listen to what you've typed, okay, because the preview button takes a little longer to load. And don't hit publish until you are completely satisfied with your scene, and this particular scene is due on Monday. Okay, so I'll see you guys then. Good luck.